Inspiration Nation, hello. Today I'm on my own because today we're without Lee and Ryan. So it's just me this week. So Ryan's not feeling very well, so we're sending a lot of love to Ryan. As Lee has got quite a bit on this week, so he's not unable to make it. But that's why we are going live. I am going live this week. So I hope you're all keeping well. So it's just really just to sort of come on really and give you a chance. Since I'm on my own, you guys can have a chance of asking questions of the Inspiration Nation. So again, my name is Joe and I'm here every week, and we are going to do a live on Instagram, and we are going to put this on YouTube as well. So if you come on, ask questions, you can do that every week now on Instagram, so you can get a chance to actually go live. So don't forget, you can catch us on Twitter at listen to in, that's TOIN, and you can catch me on Instagram everywhere really. If you just type in Jose Noya Inspiration Nation, you will catch me everywhere on the Google machine, as we say. So what are we talking about this week? So this week I want to talk about coaching. We're passionate about it, personal development, and so today, just to sort of let you in today, so today I have been actually training people how to coach. That's what I've been doing today. I've been lucky enough to do this. I've been shaping my career to it, dedicating my career really to personal development and personal growth, and that's why I talk about it. That's why I want to pass this on to others, because I think really the power of coaching is incredible. It really is something that can really make a big difference. So I just wanted to sort of share some things with you, and feel free to ask questions. You're more than welcome. And what I wanted to talk to you about really is something called Skill Will Matrix. It's a really powerful tool that I use in my sessions when I'm helping people. So actually, first time I saw this was actually in this book called The Tao of Coaching. And you can see that, Tao of Coaching. And it's by Max Landberg, a lovely little book about coaching. It's a really quick, easy read. And I always highlight this page, excuse me. And it's a page around the skill matrix. You can just see that there. You can see that there. And I suppose you can see that there. So it's really just around, when you're speaking to people, or if yourself, when you're self-coaching, because you can actually coach yourself. And so, when you're thinking about this particular graph, if we look at it and we think about if we're in the low skill and low will area, that means, we need to learn something. We need to be taught something. We need to look at something. We need to research something, because we're missing something. Especially if we want to do things like, when I first started coaching, I really didn't realize I was coaching. So I had to read a ton of books. This includes this book. I've got some other books here as well. You believe it, right? So I use this in my sessions. Start with Why by Simon Sinek. And also another one that we use is Coaching for Performance as well, by Sir John Whitmore. So it's all really around, you doing the work, you having to know. So that first box, low will and low skill, it is really around you coming up with a plan for you to get those skills. So I've had to do my coaching qualifications through the ILM. So I've done that. I've got that behind me, business coaching. So now I'm actually doing it, teaching coaching, doing coaching, supporting coaching. I'm just absolutely really loving it, really. And that's why I do my content, around here on the podcast that we do every week. We talk about personal development, because to be a coach, or to help personally, you've got to be prepared to step into yourself. So today I was talking to people as coach, and I was talking about actually that you need to develop yourself. And that's really difficult, because you're having to have your own self-awareness about where you're going, being really super specific. And I want to reference really in this particular area as well, but when I spoke to Simon Squibb, and you can catch Simon Squibb on my YouTube channel, go to Jose Noya Inspiration Nation. And he was talking about how you can clarify your goals and to really get some acceleration in what you want to do. So there's three things he talked about. The first he talked about was using fear as an asset. So fear, that stopped me a lot of times for coaching and putting myself out there, because I would be worried about what people would think and things like that. So really all this is about knowing that once you're learning, you are going to fail, but recognizing that, hey, you're your own person, you have value, And it's recognizing that, and what is your intention? What is your intention to serve? What is your intention to help other people? And so for me, that whole piece about using your fear as an asset, that was a real revelation to me. So I know other people we listen to, like Mark Drager, that I'm supporting at the moment through the community that I'm helping him. Evan Carmichael talks about it as well. We lean into fear. If we get fear, our heart goes boom, boom, you've got to lean into it, right? And all these things are real common messages. And once we know these things, we know that there's triggers to start to move. So Simon talks about that, using fear as an asset. Number 2, being consistent, showing up, actually doing the work. And number 3, really making sure you're clear about your destination, really making sure that you know where you're going, you know what you want to do, and being really, really clear on that. So looking at that, so direct. So here's it. When you're coaching, you might be directing someone. So in this one, when I say, when you're coaching people, actually, you may as well be coaching someone, you're directing them. You may actually just be training them. You might be imparting information as well. So if you're coaching, you might be imparting information. You might be, you might have a certain expertise which you'll pass on to someone. So that's your direct piece. So when you have a coach, you can sort of go into training. It can go into mentorship. If you've got the experience, right, you could be a mentor, but you can use those powerful coaching questions to really bring out, get your coachee to really think about where they want to be. So if we go to the next bit, if we go to low skill, high will. So low skill and high will, what does that actually mean? So that means I haven't really got the knowledge, but I've really got high enthusiasm about what I want to do. Now, enthusiasm wins the day. So enthusiasm is really important. For me, I do my journaling. And one of my things I write in my journal is that I want to be enthusiastic. Okay, I want to be happy. And the second thing is I want to be enthusiastic. And I am naturally enthusiastic, but some days I don't just jump out of bed and I just go, I'm brilliant. No, I get up like everybody else. I find it hard. I find it a struggle. It's how do we actually get to a place where we can get enthusiasm? So that's that low skill, high will. That's that enthusiastic piece. So when you've got people like enthusiasm, they really want to learn. They really want to take on board what you want to coach them with. So how do you do that personally? How can you self do that as a human, as development, right? So what I do, and I can just pass to you what I do. So again, it's probably a bit of mentorship, right? Because I'm just passing on knowledge that's helped me. So what's helped me is having a good morning routine. I've talked about in the podcast. If you go back on the podcast, I think this will be the 94th episode, I think. I haven't got Lee Wright here now to support me, right? And on that, and it's a bit strange doing this on my own. But, when you're looking back on this and, and we're looking at episode 94. So thinking about, how you get this enthusiasm through the morning routine. So for me, it's getting up, it's meditating. I have to meditate in the morning. I have to do that. So that do it. So welcome, Carmen, sir. I'll just wave to you as well. So welcome to InspirationNation podcast. You are here. So that enthusiasm is really, really important. Hey, Tab, how you doing? So it's really, really important that we carve that enthusiasm out, that we make sure that we are making sure we are, enthusiastic. We write in our journals, we do meditation. That works for me, right? That works for me. Hi, Tab. And it's just really, you have a morning routine that gets you inspired. You're going to set you up for the day. It's going to really set you up. It's really going to set you up. I'm just explaining the skill will matrix here from this book, Tab Coaching. So I'm just going to really explain this model. I'm here for about probably another 20 minutes. We've got on here. So again, that guide bit, we're guiding. So we've got to guide people in that box. So when you're low skill and high, we've got to guide people. We're going to talk about routine, sort of mentorship and stuff like that. So that's really what that's about. I'm just saying, good. I'm glad you're good, Tab. I'm glad you're good. It's really good that you're good. I'm pleased for you. As I say, it's a great thing to see you on here tonight. I love it. So the other thing here we've got. So next thing is we've got high will. Okay. Oh, so we've got high skill. We've got low will. Right. Okay. So we've got low. Okay. We've got your low will and high skill. So we're saying, so low will and high skill means you have someone that is an expert, someone who's an expert. But what happens is their enthusiasm, their motivation is low. So here you've got to excite them. You've got to excite them about what's happening. So things like this, when you're helping people with trying to reach something. So I get this a lot with people where they've been in a job for a long time, been in a role, they're very used to it, and they just go, oh, it's okay, my job's all right, things are okay. They've got to get excited. So this bit is about asking a big question like, okay, so maybe working for a business, maybe maybe you've got your own business, or whatever it might be. So what you're going to try and do with the question, you're going to have to open them up. So you're going to have to say, okay, so if you say, for instance, it's about, generally life. So if you would ask someone, you would say something like, okay, what would be the most exciting life you can imagine? Right? And people will look at you and have a bit of a, what's the word? A bit of a tumbleweed moment. And Lee would kill me for this. He's like, I need to tell some sort of joke. I'm not that funny, right? I'm not good at comedy, right? So again, there's a story I'm telling myself. So another thing to watch out when you coach. But I mean, it's that whole thing around, getting people excited about it. So what is it? You start thinking, okay, so what would be an ideal life for you? Take into account, there's no barriers, nothing. I want you to find something that's really super exciting. What would be your ideal life? Because people have to re-engage with their life if they're not excited. They might have the high skill, but they've got that low will. They need that fire in their belly. They need that whole thing to get excited about it. And so when you start mapping out what would your day-to-day look like, if you were doing the things that you loved, there was no barriers, you had all the resources you wanted, what would you be doing? And you make it really super excited. Now I do have to warn about this because I've created visions, and I've got a vision for InspirationNation. I want to go global. I want to go across the world. I want to be really super exciting. I want us to go around, tour, help as many people as possible. That's a big vision, right? So a lot in the past, I've had to learn that actually you've got to be uncomfortable with it, right? Uncomfortable with it because, there's that thing of, I want to reach for the stars, right? But you might land on the moon, all right? But the whole thing about this is that what is the best life? Think about it for a moment. If we think about what would be the greatest life ever would be trying to get to that every day, waking up and going for it, waking up and going, starting with that smallest action possible, right? So it's like, I think Will Smith said, and the Buddha said, it's like getting up every day and emptying the ocean with a spoon. Hey, Nina, how you doing? Lovely, a little wave to you. Hey, Nina, hope your sugar challenge is going well. I'm just explaining skill matrix here. I'm just talking about people getting excited about their lives. So again, when you're trying to get someone excited, when you've got a massive, big vision, big goal, we're basically emptying the sea with a spoon. Right? That's what good people do. When you've got a big vision, you've got a big mission, you should be excited every day to get up. That's why I get up quite early. It's good to see you too, Nina. I love it. Feel free to ask a question as well. We're here for probably another about 15 minutes. I'm on the podcast alone today. Lee and Ryan can't make it, so I'm podcasting alone tonight. So it's good to see you too. And so it's just really recognizing getting up every day. Just imagine a life of working towards your big vision for your life. So if you're someone in a job and you're helping them, you're coaching them, it's just asking them and say, what would be the best career you'd ever want, right? Maybe you're working for a particular business. Okay, imagine you're in business. You are someone who's managing someone, or leading someone. You might be doing that. You might ask them, okay, so tell me what would be the most exciting position you would want at this company? No barriers, no nothing. What would be your most amazing position? Okay, and then they'll start telling you, well, I'd love to do this. What I don't like is this, and what I do love is this. Okay, so what does who's in the position that you would love to do? And you get to imagine it. You get to think about what would be exciting to be doing it. So get excited about it. And so what you do ask is, okay, so let's have a look at this. Okay, so you want to do X, whatever it is, whether it's you want to be a leader, whether you want to be in a technical position, whether you want to start a business, whatever. So you got to dial it down and say, what would be the first thing you could actually start to do? What would be the smallest step you could start to do? And it could be anything from I need to speak to someone, from I need to start doing videos, right? I need to get on a live with somebody, whatever it is, but you'll start to get them excited because now what's happened is you switched it for them to sitting in that mentality about, oh, everything's, I'm blaming everything. And I'm in this mentality, I've got no, I can't control anything, because people really, you can control yourself. That's what we're talking about. We're trying to get people to take accountability for their lives, right? Take accountability for their careers. And coaching does that in absolute droves. Like, it will make you be accountable. Now, if you are going to coach someone, you need to make sure that your coachee is accountable for their actions. They've got to own it. Right? They've got to own the action. So when you are asking them, when we're looking at actions, when we're looking at what they want to achieve, we need to make sure that one, they create as many options as possible that what they want to do. So lots and lots of options, get them to be creative, how many options, how many tasks they could do. But then what we do is we need to pin them down to, a few actions they could actually do. Now, I'm a believer in SMART. So SMART is specific, measurable, agreed, realistic, and time bound. So anything that you set must have a time limit stamp on it. And the reason for that is that you're more likely to follow through if you have a time limit on what you're going to do. Now, there is a caveat to that, because when you are coaching people, some people are not going to do what they said they were going to do. But that's beautiful, because what we do there is we can re-coach that and go, okay, so what happened? And when people are trying to reach big goals, scary goals, there's going to be a lot of failure. But we need to reframe failure, right? So failure is learning. I never used to think that. So I used to think failure was terrible. I hated it. I used to avoid it. I used to not try things because I didn't want to fail, right? Because you think about maybe all the life you've been through. Sometimes, you may have had a teacher that said, oh, you've done bad things there, whatever. There might be a story you're telling yourself that failure is bad. And I think sometimes society as a whole says, oh, you don't want to fail. You're failing in front of other people, all that sort of stuff, right? But really, when we think we can reframe the word failure, let's reframe it to the word learning. So failure is learning, okay? That's something that I've had to learn over time. Found it difficult, it's hard, but it's great, because once you recognize that actually there is no failure, it's only learning, that's great. You actually get more from your failures than you do from your successes. So when you're winning, it's great, a great feeling. You should celebrate that, but also recognize that actually when you're winning, you don't learn as much as when you fail. I don't like it. I don't really like the lessons of failing, but it's a necessary part. But if you look at all the successful people, they've had failure after failure after failure. I think I've been referencing recently, I don't know why, but I've been referencing the Colonel, the KFC. Colonel Sanders, I think his name is. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Nina. I think it's Colonel Sanders. But he didn't successful in his KFC until he was in his 60s or 70s, right? He had a ton of failed businesses, boom. And then he got to his 60s and he then thought, well, I've got an successful business. So there's hope for us all. There's hope for us all. We've just got to make sure that we dial into that, right? We've got to dial into that. So that's really where we're talking about. So exciting people about a vision for their life, creating exciting vision, write it down, get some actions, get some really small actions that you can put a timeline against. If you commit and you just write them down, you are going to be much more committed than just saying, oh, I think I'll do it next week. Oh, I think I'll just do it another time, right? So it's really important that you do write them down. I mean, I write every day in my journal about what I want to have achieved that day. There's just 3 things. I'll be present, be happy, enjoy the day. And I want to have that. And today I wasn't expecting to do this alone, to be fair. This was very unexpected, right? So, but I love it, right? I love it that we are doing this every week. And so I'm really committed to making sure that I want to bring value to you. So just feel free to ask a question, right? So you can do it on a live here. So then you can feel free to ask a question. Or you can just, when I've launched this video and it's gone on Instagram, which is going to go on Instagram, you can ask a question on there. You can go to the podcast, a question on there. You know where to find us. You can find me, as I said before, host of Noya-Inspiration, or you've got us on Twitter, wherever. You will be able to find us. The link is in the bio and all that sort of stuff. So last bit of this, I think I've got about 10 minutes left. The last bit of this lovely, lovely diagram is we have got a high skill and a high will person, right? We've got a high skill and a high will person. We're trying to help them. So I've now popped it that to the side. So just a reminder, it's the Tarot Coaching, great book. So we've got a high will, high skill person. And in this time, like it says, delegate in there. So for me, when I get these types of people, it's like, okay, this person is crushing it already. They're great, right? So coaching is really good for whether you're not doing very well, whether you're in the middle, you're sort of okayish, or you're amazing. Coaching can help all 3 types. Okay, so if you're struggling, it can help you because you've got something to work on, right? If you're steady, you just need a bit more excitement. You can do that again, get excited, get out that vision that we talked about. But if you're crushing it, you're absolutely smashing it, you're confident, you've got everything, and you think you're crushing it, that's a danger point. I just whispered that. It's a danger point. The reason is for that, because you could be joking, oh, I'm just crushing it. It's nothing me can do, right? So when we position coaching, sometimes people that we coach, so would you like some coaching? They turn down, no, I'm doing great. I don't need it. Oh, I'm doing great. That's because you position the coaching correctly. Coaching is for everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're crushing it, whether you need help, whether you're steady, because actually, if you're crushing it and you are high skill and high will, you've got the enthusiasm, you've got the skills, you can be better. That's right. You can still be better. And that's the point of coaching. You're going to push people when you coach. You're going to push them to be better. You're going to say, okay, so what are you doing now? What's the next step for you? Okay, how could you do this better? So if they've got these targets, smashing the targets, go, okay, so how could you be better? What's a stretch target for you? Okay, so it might be that they need to go to a higher position. Maybe they've got to looking for a promotion. Maybe they've got to add some more to their business, right? But the point is that you push people where they're crushing it. They've got to be a bit harder on themselves, right? Because their own competition is really themselves. Right? Their own competition is really themselves, but they've got to realise that. And if they don't, then they're going to go back into that comfort zone. And we all know, if you watch this stuff, we all know no growth comes from the comfort zone, right? It's the boiling frog, and I think I've referenced it in my video. Welcome, Tyler French. I welcome you to the Inspiration Nation podcast. Welcome. I'll wave to you as well. Well, look, you've got Nina and Tyler French in the podcast. It's lovely. So feel free to ask a question. So again, it's just around that. So if someone's crushing it, just making sure that, you're pushing them. If it's yourself, you think you're crushing it. If you think you are smashing it, you need to look at yourself and say, okay, how can I be better? How can I wake up the next day and be better than I was yesterday? What are the slight improvements, the slight tweaks on a daily basis that I can move? So let me just share you a little bit what I do. So at the end of the day, I don't know if I've got it here. Actually, I do have it. I do have it. It's my note. It's my journal. It's actually here. Got it here. And at the end of it, I have a little review. Well, at the end of the day, I've actually got a couple of questions. So the questions are, one of the questions is, number one, what improvement can I make? So I think about my day and I think about, okay, what's the one improvement I could improve today? Now I'm talking about micro actions, right? Micro actions, because I want to improve something slowly over time. If I make them too big, it might be that, I'm just not going to bother doing it. Now, it applies to all of us, right? That happens to me, happens to you, right? If we make it too big on a daily scale, we can be a bit more. So it's just one little improvement. What's a little tweak I can do? And then what I'm going to do is also, to get myself motivated, I'm going to think, okay, what are the great things that happened? I might have had the poorest day ever, but if I can recognise or be grateful for, 3 things in the day that went really well, I can say, well, okay, that's great. And actually this morning I watched an Evan Carmichael video, and it was about the guy who said, make your bed. So if you made your bed this morning, congratulate yourself. Because if you've had the worst day, I love that, because he comes back. If you had the worst day, if you come back, you made your bed, you sleep in a lovely made bed. What could be better than that, right? So that's really what we're talking about. So I think yesterday I put, I needed to be kinder. Yesterday, I need to be kinder to friends. I thought I just need to improve. I could tweak it a little bit more. That's what I felt yesterday. That's how I felt about myself yesterday. And what was the good thing about I did? Again, I sort of trained coaching. I was helping people to coach and train me how to coach yesterday. So I said I enjoyed the coaching. That was great. I had a good time with my beloved, who we sat and watched some movies, which was great. And I felt I was much more present yesterday. So there's 3 things I was grateful for there. So there you go. That's my journal. And that was we're on day 770 today of daily videos. 770. There you go. So I've talked about a lot today. So if you've got any questions, pop them on the notes now. So Nina, you've been a great stay to me. You've always support, always come on these lives. I really do appreciate you. And I do hope your sugar challenge is going well. Tyler French 04, thanks again. Really appreciate you joining. But as I say, this has been fun. I do miss Lee and Ryan. We do have banter. We do have some fun. I still need, I'm not the funny one. I'm not the funny one. I wish I was more funny. I'm trying to dial up my fun. I think maybe I should write that in my diary, because I've been watching a little bit of Rick and Morty. I'm trying to get up my comedy and leading that task. I've watched a bit of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so I'm trying to be funny. So Nina said, yes, I think of that guy every time I make my bed. Was it the army video? Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was the army guy. Absolutely. It was the army guy, Nina. But I think it's those little things that make a difference. That's all right, Mark French. You're more than welcome. It's the little things that make a difference. So if we can do those things every day, just the little bits of gratitude, so you just take making your bed right. I'm really conscious about that. So I do make the bed is something I do every single day. If my beloved's in it, I can't make it right, so I have to leave it. But if she's not in it and she's up, and I've done it because I get up before everybody when I do my daily videos, right? So I'll make the bed when I've done that. I'll go back upstairs. It's not made, I'll make it. So just to make sure that's done is something that I've done. So it actually, and that leads to other things. And when you feel good about that, it leads to other things that are good. And that'll get you excitement, that'll get you excited about your day. So I hope you enjoyed this. I certainly have. I miss Lee and Ryan. I really have missed them. They do bring me, they make me laugh. But it's been great, and I say thanks for everyone for joining tonight. But I say, if you've got any questions, pop them on there. So I'm just going to sort of tell you what to find. Okay, we've got the I keep forgetting. I'm not very good at promoting this stuff, but Lee's better. It makes me giggle that he has said it so often that it frustrates him. What was that? What was that? But yeah, so just to let you know, we've got the mugs on the Inspiration Nation website. You can get those. And we've got the t-shirts, mugs, we've got even face masks. Thank you, Nina. We've got all these types of things that you can get. You can go over to the inspirationnation.org.uk. Oh yeah, totally, the Make Your Bed guide. I love this. This is what I love, right? I love the interaction. Yes, the Make Your Bed, yeah, totally, absolutely. And so you can go over to that. You can go into inspirationnation.org.uk. We've got coaching services on there. Go and check that out. You can join my newsletter. So if you join my newsletter, you can join that. Go to janecoachingtechnology.weebly.com. On the front page, there will be a form. Just fill that in, and you will get an email from me every single week. I usually do 2 emails a week, one on a Saturday, one on a Sunday. Usually telling you about what's been released, what I'm doing. And if you do sign up, I usually give you a flag as to what comes first. Usually give you a sneaky peeky of a sneaky peeky, is that a thing? A sneaky peeky of the blog that I write every week, and then I promote it on the Sunday. So if you're part of the nation, you'll get first dibs at that. And again, I really do appreciate every single one of you. So again, find us on Instagram, Twitter. I'm on Snapchat. I'm on TikTok. What's the Instagram here? Facebook. IN Jose Noya. All over the place. All over the place. So you have been listening to the Inspiration Nation podcast. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you. We'll be coming again next week. We'll be coming on here again next week on a live. I'm going to make this a regular slot, no matter what happens. As today, I've been soloing it today, but hopefully Lee and Ryan will be back next week, and we will be going back to the usual. So guys, really appreciate you joining. So remember, keep inspired. Thanks, Nina. Thanks, Mark French, for joining. Really appreciate it. This has been Inspiration Nation. I'm going to catch you guys later. Thanks, guys.